Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today we're going to be doing just a summer glowy makeup look. So if you want to see how we do that, then just keep watching. Okay, so let's get started on this glowy makeup. Ooh. So first for primer, I'm going to use the Becca Backlighting Primer Filter. So this is just a glowy primer. Actually, I lied. I'm actually going to use the Touch in Sol No Problemo Primer first. And I'm just going to put that right where my pores are showing. Alright, I'm actually... I'm going to triple prime. So I'm going to go in with the Milk Hydro Grip Primer because to do a more glowy summery look, I'm not going to set my face. So I want this primer to help make my foundation stay. So I'm going to put that in the places that my foundation normally comes off, which is down here and my chin and my nose. It is always coming off my nose. Now I'm going to go in with the Becca Backlighting Primer, Backlight Priming Filter, jeez. And I'm just going to take that on where I want my face to be the glowiest, which is my cheekbones. For foundation, I'm going to go in with the Physicians Formula, the Healthy Foundation. I really like this foundation when I want to be glowy and have a healthy complexion. This is not full coverage though, so I do have to build it up. What I like about this though is it has an SPF of 20 in it, and today I'm actually going to an Italian festival which is outside, so I definitely need the SPF. I actually put this on when I went to a theme park and didn't even think about the fact that I was going to a theme park, and I got burnt a little bit here, but not my face, and I couldn't figure out why until I went back to this foundation and noticed it had SPF in it, so that's great. I will tell you, the only thing I really can't stand about this is because it's a doe foot applicator, it takes a lot of dipping in to get the amount that I would like because I want it to be more full coverage. So I'm just going to do one layer for now. And I am going to use a sponge even though this already has less coverage. I just still like how it looks with the sponge. And we'll just go back on and add some more after this in my problem spots. So now I'm going to go back in and you can still see like there's redness in my problem areas. So I'm going to go ahead, take some more, and I'm going to put it in those spots. Now I'm actually going to let this sit for a minute or two so that it kind of gets its opaqueness more. I don't know how to say that. Sometimes depending on the kind of foundation, same thing with concealer, depending on the kind of concealer, as long as it doesn't dry too fast, if you leave it on for a little bit longer, it'll kind of heat up with your skin and it stays better, and so then the color of it stays better. I don't know how to explain that. Okay, now that it's sat there for a little bit, blend it out. And see, it just lets it, it's just more opaque. I don't know how it works or really why, but I'm not complaining. I'm gonna add a little on my neck because this color doesn't really match me, even though it's the lightest shade they offer. Did I mention the shade? This is LC1. Let's move on to concealer. So for concealer, I think I'm gonna take the Jeffree Star concealer in C6. Hopefully it's not too dark. I'm just gonna put this under my eyes, and then I'm gonna get my powder ready as I let this sit a little. So this is the Maybelline Fit Me powder in Fair. Now I am gonna set my neck because I get sweaty. I definitely don't want my neck moving. So I was going to use a cream bronzer, and I was going to use, I have two of these Milk makeups because I got one in the mail. It was off of Sephora, and the thing it comes with was also like a highlighter, and it was completely gone and like it was gross. So they sent me a new one, and it did the same thing. So I was like, just forget it, just give me my money back. Well, you know, with this whole Jaclyn Hill scandal, everyone that's a scientist has been saying if it smells like Play-Doh, it's expired. And these both heavily smell like Play-Doh, and I was curious at first if that meant it was expired, but I went ahead and used this one anyways. But I'm for sure not going to use these anymore. So the only thing I have is this Physicians Formula Super BB Insta Ready stick. And I've had this forever, but it doesn't smell like Play-Doh. But let's just go ahead and use this. Hope for the best. Let's use a brush. I'm gonna use this Eco Tools brush. Okay, I don't have a cream brush, so really quickly let me put on a liquid highlighter. This is the Tarte Pro Glow liquid highlighter in Stunner. So I'm gonna use that. So now that we have our liquids done, let's add some powders on top of it. So I'm just gonna use my favorite bronzer, which is the Maybelline City Bronzer in the shade 100. And a fluffy brush. I'm gonna actually skip blush, I think. Yeah, I'm gonna skip blush because since I didn't set my face first, the liquid bronzer and then putting everything else on top is kind of pulling my redness. I don't know if you can see it. So it's kind of giving me a blush look without putting blush on. So I'm gonna avoid that. So let's move on to highlighter. I want gold, but I feel like the gold I want is gonna be too dark for me right now. Yeah. So I'm gonna go in with the Pixie by Petra Glowy Glossomer, whatever, in Settle Sunrise and the gold shade. Ooh. Let me just add it on top of the liquid one. You know what? Let's go one step further. Let's add the Ofra highlighter in Glazed Donut right on the high point. So the high point of my cheek, so that when it catches the light, oh yeah. Now, before I move on to the eyes, I'm gonna set my face. So this is the Morphe Continuous Setting Mist. We are glowing. So for summer, I feel like for my skin tone, you know, fair skin tone, a Dusty Rose looks good. I think my all-time favorite summer look is people with deeper skin. They can pull off bronze looks so amazingly. Those are my favorite looks, but for my skin tone, bronze doesn't always look that good. Like, it doesn't look bad. But I want my summer look to kind of look just glowy and more effortless. So not even like intense shades, or I'm literally probably going to use only 2 shades. So I'm going to take the Huda Beauty New Nude, I think is what this is called. And I'm going to take this Dusty Rose shade called Secret. Oh, you can see everything. And then I'm going to take the Morphe M518 and just put that in the crease. Alright, and then next I'm going to take the shade Play, which is this like light peachy shade. I'm just going to use that on an IT Cosmetics brush. The name wore off. It's just another fluffy brush. And I'm going to actually just use that shade to blend out the outer edge, just to make sure that it's not a harsh line and it kind of blends into my skin a little bit better. That is honestly all I'm going to do for the crease. I want this to be, like I said, really simple and really kind of natural looking. For the lid though, I'm going to take the Hourglass Scattered Light in the shade Reflect. So it's just like a pink glittery shade. But honestly, these don't come out very pigmented. So I never ever want to really touch it, because for me, I normally want like in your face glitter. I'm going to take this Luxie 245 small shader brush to apply this. But normally a shader brush doesn't work for me, but I cannot get my nails in this pot. So we're gonna try to make it work. You know what? I lied. Let me back up. So since this doesn't apply very well, what I think I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take that secret shade and first pack that on my lid and then put the Hourglass on top of it. So let me get a packing brush. So this is the Morphe M167 brush. It's just a fatter shader brush. Okay, so my battery died while I was in the middle of putting the shade on my lid, so I went ahead and just finished that. Fair warning, if you are using this shade, it is a mess. It went everywhere. Okay, so now let's take the Hourglass shade and put that on our lid. Wish I could get my finger. I can get my pinky kind of in it, but not really. I mean, it's better than it was. I'm gonna attempt to wet the brush and hope that works a little better. And I'm gonna use the Anastasia Dewy Set Spray. Didn't really do much. I'm gonna try to add a little bit of this ColourPop Supernova Shadow with Kathleen Lights. It's in the shade Constellation. And I'm just gonna use that same brush. I'm not gonna use this because this is kind of the same thing. It's not as pigmented as I would like, but we're gonna add a little bit just to kind of give it more glitter. I want glitter. Did something. So let's move on to the lower lash line. So for the lower lash line, I'm just gonna take that secret shade again. I'm gonna take that secret shade on a Morphe E17 brush and I'm just going to lightly buff it down here. For brows, for me, I'm just going to use a tiny bit of a pencil to fill in my sparse areas, and then I will use the gel for the rest because I have pretty decent hairs. I just need them to be darker. And for me, that's good enough for brows. Let's go ahead and highlight with MAC Nylon, of course. Viveos. So I'm gonna put that in the inner corner. I love this shade. And the brow bone. Honestly, I use this shade every day. Even if I don't do eye makeup, I'll still put this on the inner corner because it just makes you look more awake. Even if, like I said, if I don't have an eyeshadow on, I don't care. It makes me look like I'm more awake than I am in the mornings. I don't really like doing mascara and lips on camera, so I will go ahead and do those and be right back. Okay, so mascara and lips are on. For mascara, it is the Lancome Monsieur Big. And then for lips, well, I have a lot on my lips because I started off with this by L'Oreal. It's their Signature Rouge in the shade I Empower. Then realized it was too peachy, which didn't really look that good with the dusty pink on my eyes. So then I added their other shade, I Create, but then it still wasn't covering up the first shade very well. So then I used the gloss from Bare Minerals in the shade Sugar. So that's what we have on the lips. Yeah, so this is kind of my summery look. My summery look is just really kind of an effortless glow on the lid and then a lot of highlighter. So yeah, that is all I have for this video. So thank you for watching and I'll see you in the next one.